Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another 31 days of cut files for you guys. And today I am using the film strip cut file from the documenting week of 31 days. So we are on week 3, and I'm going to be using the film strip. So I pulled out these viney leaf things. Not sure if I'm going to incorporate them or not, or what I was thinking, but I don't know. I've got also these acetate leaves from 49 and Market from a while ago, a big and a small in opposite directions. And then I've got these butterfly see-through sticker things. They came in a kit, and then this this larger film strip with the butterfly on top was actually the packaging. And so I'm going to try to use some of those up. I also have these words here that were from the Simple Stories Weathered Garden collection. So I've got those. I have this paw print that the veterinary clinic was nice enough to make for us of our sweet Shadow, who passed away early in January. So anyways, that's what I'm documenting about. I've also got this journaling strip from Not Just for Boys. There is the film strip that is our cut file for today. I also have the canvas flare buttons. That is the junk journal ones from Scrap and Happy Studio. And then from a paper pad, I have this gold foiled paper. I'm not sure which paper pad it came from. And then from My Mind's Eye, Lost and Found 3, I have this really cool polka dot that has some doilies on the back, but I'm going to use the polka dot side. So let's get started. I also have a washi tape that is green washi tape from the Close to My Heart. It was actually Close to My Heart's very first. No, I lied. It's their second washi tape that they came out with. The first one that they came out with was actually like a teal or aqua houndstooth. It was their very first washi tape that they tried to see how well it fared, and it fared very well. So they created a bunch more, and then they didn't do too well, and so of course they stopped selling washi tape. I think there was just too much of a market for it. It's like when somebody else is oversaturating the market, why would you want to join in, right? That's how I feel when it comes to the shop. I try to stay away from other people that are doing really well with what they are selling, and try to offer what other people are not selling, right? Because I definitely don't want any competition. And it's not that, it's that, like Sandy does stencils very, very well. Why on earth would I want to try to, either be in her shadow or, give her grief, right? She does it very well. She's very good at stenciling. Scrap and Happy Studios is very good at flair. Why on earth would I try to make my own flair? That's how I see it. All right, you guys. So I'm just rambling on and on and on because I'd rather not talk about my puppy that passed away, which is actually my husband's puppy. I felt really bad. It was very, very sad. I personally have never been through of a loss of a puppy. In all honesty, back in the day when I had a little puppy as a kid, my parents took care of it, and then, it just was not a big deal. In all honesty, they'd make something up and the dog would be gone, and that's it. So this was my very first time being around the loss of a puppy, and I say a puppy. He was old, you guys, very, very old. But in our eyes, all the way to the last day, he still wanted to play with his ball. He still, wanted to lay with his family. He still wanted to be there with us all the way up to his very last day, you guys. It was very, very sad, and emotional. We took him to the vet over the weekend, and basically we're sad for the whole weekend. We pretty much did not communicate with anybody. We didn't do anything. And these are the very last photos that I have of my sweet puppy. He just seemed disoriented every time that he woke up from a nap or anything like that. He just seemed like he was totally lost, and he would wake up with this look on his face. and start licking his nose, almost like that was going to help him wake up a little bit better. One of his favorite things to do was to lay on his pillow next to the couch while my husband took a nap. So that was definitely one of the highlights of his day. Just hanging out with his dad, is kind of what we called him. So I was very grateful for the vet to take these. We got puppy prints and nose prints, and the nose prints, they were kind of creepy. I'm sorry. I'm not going to lie. They were really, I appreciated them, but in the long run, I don't know. I couldn't not look at them and be like, that's kind of gross. So, but I did like the puppy paw print. We got so many that our kids ended up with a couple of them, and we were able to share them with everybody, and everybody made their own farewell to Shadow. So that was very, very sweet of the kids. They were there if they wanted to be, and they handled it on their own. It was a good time for all of us to be together. It really was. And I was grateful that we were all together, that, nobody had to work, nobody had sports, nobody had anything. We were able to process our loss in our own way with each other. And that was just great. It was really great. Our puppy Roscoe, my puppy, had a hard time. He, we got home and I know this is kind of harsh, but we washed all the pillows and, swept and cleaned the floor. We tried to get the smell out of the house. And now we knew that it wasn't going to be, but we thought maybe it would be very more helpful for Roscoe if the smell was gone. He still kind of claws at Shadow's bed. We kept both beds just because now one is in a different area of the house. So Roscoe has more places to lay down. But he still kind of claws at one of them, which I'm wondering if it still smells like Shadow. He won't go into Shadow's doghouse at all. Which is fine. We're not going to force him to do anything, but I can definitely tell that my puppy is lonely. Like he misses his friend. When we first got Roscoe, it was, Shadow was always there. Shadow was his friend. He was always with him, right? Roscoe grew up with Shadow. And so now it's the first time that he is on his own. So anyways, I am just taking the stickers and trying to make a background. I used both of my journaling spot as well as my film strip to back my photos. I'm okay if they are different photo mats and all that good stuff. And so I was building up my background. I used the washi tape as just another border in between my two panels that I ripped off of that foiled paper. And then, of course, I am going to decorate my my film strip just a little bit. Film roll? Is it a film roll? I think it's a roll of film, right? So I'm going to do that. Add a little bit of distress on there. Not a whole lot, but just some. And then I'm going to actually back the cut file, just not right away. It's an afterthought. I thought at first I was going to just leave it. I did, in all honesty, delete the part where I tried, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I did not. But I'm going to add a little bit of splattering just because I know it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get the splattering to look right once I add all the elements back on. Off camera, I did squish my my flare, so I flattened my flare. So here is where I decided to take a film strip that I got in the advent calendar. So last year's advent calendar, I went ahead and used this film strip here, or maybe that's not. I think that's actually a film strip from 49 and Market. Now that I'm seeing it. I'm thinking that's a film strip from 49 and Market, the Gardenia collection, in all honesty. So I'm going to do the middle piece and then the top and the bottom, so that way that it has a little bit of black, and then the paper wrap around it will be a different color. So yeah, I think that's a film strip. I don't know. I do know how I like that it. I like how it looks. I ended up liking how it looks. So, anyways, I'm also waiting for my paper to dry. I used a little bit of water and a little bit of ink. I think it was brushed corduroy that I ended up using instead of the walnut stain, just because it didn't look like it was as dark as walnut stain, but I could be wrong. Normally it's walnut stain that I do end up having on my table at all times, but I could be wrong. I know brushed corduroy was on there because I think that's the one, or frayed burlap. One of the two was on there because of my cruise layouts. That was one of the colors that we ended up using for the cruise layouts. All right, so now my film strip is all done, and I'm going to go ahead and build my layout back together how I thought it looked. I've always liked using brown and green for both of my puppies because they are indoor-outdoor dogs. And 9 times out of 10, I like taking pictures of them outside rather than in the house. The house always seems clustered. It always seems, that it's such a mess. And part of that is because, there's 6 people that live in this house. And, we're never doing the same thing. Excuse me. I try my hardest, to have an organized spot for our school supplies, but yet somebody's always doing homework, so their stuff has to stay out. We're always arts and crafting together, whether it's my daughter is into diamond art painting. She also likes to draw. She also likes to write. My son likes to write screenplays. My other son likes to fiddle with his guitar. So there's always something going on in and around our house. And so I always feel like our house is full of something, like it's always cluttered, which is not to the point where it's like stressful, but it is to the point where it doesn't look good in pictures. And that's about it. That's the only thing. I actually feel like, my house is full, my heart is full type of deal. I like the fact that we all have things to do during this time of the year, being August and September into October. We've got my son's football gear hanging out at the house or in the backyard, airing out, things like that. So yeah, it's just all different fun things. Okay, so here's where I thought I was going to bring in this viney leaf ribbon. I don't know, you guys. This is such a very hard material to use, but I thought I was going to intertwine it and wrap it around and get it to go, but it wasn't playing nice, for one. And for two, it just was bulky. It was getting way too bulky. I thought, I don't really like this. I can't get it to do what I want it to do. I really liked the first loop, and then after that, I can't get the other loops to play. Then I was going to add this one in the background just to make it look more full, and yeah, I ended up nixing that idea and just tossing that off to the side and bringing in the film strip all by itself. So I have this little sticker that says my heart. I'm going to add my flare, and these junk flares have almost like a cardboard backing. So when you smush it, the backer kind of lifts in a little bit. So I do have to add a little bit of foam just to fill in that gap between the base of the flare and my paper. So it doesn't add any more dimension than when I flatten it, but yes. I also took my lovely word and trimmed out around the white spaces just a little bit more. Added an always and forever to my layout, and that is my layout for today. That's my sweet little shadow. You guys, I am so sorry for being just a Debbie Downer today, but eventually I had to document this. I'm glad I documented it this year rather than waiting several years. There's not a lot of people. It's not like we posted it all over social media or anything. that our puppy passed, actually a lot of people were coming to the house going, "Where's the other dog?" And so that's when they find out what happened. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the Facebook link down below, as well as Janet Fritz's channel, who is Galaxy Girl Creations, here on YouTube. And I will check you guys all later. Bye.